Hello, beautiful, beautiful Earth Angels. Welcome back to another daily dose of love for you, synchronistic affirmation, confirmation on your intuition and your higher self. I'm just going to pop the camera in a tree quickly while we shuffle to get a card, and then we can start your divinated message, beautiful souls. So the card that you got was Take a Divinely Guided Chance, with all this purple color energy. It also says all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So there could be something about how either recently or moving forward, there's going to be an action taken within your path that feels like a bit of a risk or a chance, because it's really stepping into a new opportunity or a new endeavor, a new chapter. And like I say, it's going to feel like taking a leap of faith for some of you. You are being guided. This confirmation that you're being aligned with new opportunities in your reality to give you the opportunity to take these chances, to move in new directions if you wish to, you guys. So it's really all down to you, of course, always following our own intuition, but it almost feels as if you've set an intention for something and then you receive an opportunity for that. Like something coming through that's really important for you is that the energetic choices you're making in your mind are actually calling and aligning the same choice of energy around you. So say, for example, you decide or you think to yourself one time, you know what, it would be cool to live in this place. Or do you know what, getting a bit tired of this. Or do you know what, it would be cool to make this move or to make this change or something. And it's kind of like you made it in an energetic choice about something, and then you were guided an opportunity presented itself to you in your reality for you to pursue that or for you to take action on that. So it's like a big confirmation as well for some of you that the things you think about end up aligning for you, especially when you make inner energetic choices on these things as well. You may feel like you make a choice and then you have to align that in your reality, but for a lot of you, you're actually making decisions inside yourself, and then you're seeing your reality align around you to be able to facilitate those or give the opportunity for those. Let's say, for example, you've been contemplating making a particular move or shift or change. You may then just have someone guided into your reality who's on that same path, who helps encourage you and one another to pursue a particular path, right? Or you may receive like a new job offer, or you may receive an invitation or an opportunity through people or friends based on what you're thinking about. So say if some of you said, oh, I want more spontaneity in my life, then it's like all of a sudden your friends come to you or you receive an opportunity to do something spontaneous. And this is what I'm saying about these energies that you're making choices on internally. They're actually manifesting. So you are ready to follow your divine guidance into new territories. You're ready to step into new energies. You have become so much clearer on what your intuition is, what that sounds like, what it feels like. And it's really just like your own connection to self and your authentic truths, your authentic emotions, your authentic desires. And that's what you guys have been coming really clear on, because you have a very deep inner self connection to yourself. So you've been following these. You're also someone who is going to create magic this life by leaping into the unknown or following your intuition down particular paths and endeavors that you feel called to. Now this can be like whatever reality you're in. You start to internally connect to a new reality, okay? Now, it doesn't matter what aspect that's in, you can internally start connecting to the new reality, maybe a version of your life or a version of self or a particular lifestyle or career or the way that your life would look. It's kind of almost as if you receive, again, visionaries, these kind of callings that are realities that you're not in right now that could be potential realities. So it's kind of interesting because there's something about your future self saying you took a chance on something, or you made decisions along your path that you felt intuitively like they were meant for you, even if you didn't know what was coming after those, okay? So I do sense some big changes for some of you doing things that maybe are new areas, new territories, moving into new energies and shifting out of some old energies. And as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So some of you have come to this realization recently of certain things that you don't really want or desire in your reality, whether that's certain types of dynamic of relationship, people, friendships, whether that is a certain lifestyle of, routine that you decide, actually, I don't really want this. There's just something, and it doesn't have to be specific to what it is, but there's something that started to have this realization of and you started realizing you didn't want certain things, and that was the energetic choice. Okay, that's what's coming through. This was your inner energetic choice when you realize, or when you start making these reviews inside your inner monologue, and you're like, actually, I think I want something that provides me this amount of time. Actually, I kind of feel like I deserve a relationship that's like this, or friends who are like this. And it's kind of like from those decisions of deciding internally, this is what I do want, this is what I don't want, you actually align with those opportunities and realities and things around you. Okay, so it's like you're making choices inside that are manifesting outside of yourself. And there's certain chapters at the end of them where you're making these realizations and judgment calls and reviewing yourself, your reality, based on what you feel it to be authentically in your emotions, what you deserve, what you desire, what you don't like, what you do like, what you know that you don't like because you know what you want because you know what you don't want. And then it's like we make those inner choices, and you literally watch your reality around you align with those new energies, those new opportunities. So if you're finding this reading, I know we got through a bit of information there, but I really do think that you're going to have a chance soon to do something that's a bit different, or out of the unknown, or out of the ordinary, that you're going to maybe actually pursue, or make a decision to accept something, or to move in a particular direction based on the energies that or the thoughts and the judgment and the review and reflection that you've come to internally, okay? But I do think as well that you're on a higher path, and that's why it's saying positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk. You also know deep in your soul that this life and this incarnation, there's certain achievements, accomplishments, and certain lifestyles of reality that you simply cannot get to unless we do take some sort of risk or leap of faith or belief on ourselves that we can do something that's a bit unknown. And you're someone who is actually being guided by a higher guidance this lifetime. That's what those emotions are when you're in certain realities or timelines that start to feel dissonant after a while. They're just the call to know that we're shifting timelines. So you guys are shifting timelines, and again, this isn't the first nor last time. You're going to shift many times. Like we said in before of reading, you can tell when you're shifting timelines or you've shifted timelines because there normally is new energies, new people, or new environments involved, new hobbies, habits, or routines. Things change when we shift. And like I say, you're feeling the shifts through your realities, through your emotions, you guys. So like I say, when a timeline starts to get to its point where you've lived in that timeline long enough, your soul wants to transcend to a new vibrational reality, you will have these emotional realizations. They don't always have to be negative. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're like, do you know what? I don't like this anymore, or this isn't resonating with me, and I've realized it's because of this or this. We make certain choices. They don't have to be through negativity. They can also be like through excitement. so you can get inspiration whilst you're in this timeline. But whenever you get towards the end of a timeline, you'll either find yourself picking up new inspiration, new ideas, higher callings to new endeavors or projects, or you'll find yourself becoming very dissonant with the reality or timeline or things around you that were. So that's how you know if you're shifting. And in that time where these old timelines are finally closing out again, and as we're shifting, you also find yourself more called to take more chances or risks or venture into the unknown. I also feel like, again, you're guided by a higher path and a higher power. Look at this light frequency. You are guided by a higher path and a higher power, which is your feelings. So like I say, towards the end of timelines, you start to get these emotional feelings come up that essentially are pulling us energetically to those new realities. So we're aligning very effortlessly because you can't ignore nor control your emotions. You can't ignore nor control what you're finding enjoyment from, interest from, or what is not fulfilling your cup anymore. You know, our emotions are our guide, and you're someone who's going to move through multiple and many different timelines, and you're actually going to get to some timelines that not many people can get to because there needs to be a element of degree of stepping into the unknown or taking a chance. Like it says, take divinely guided chance, because you guys are able to take these chances and risks because you feel them quite strongly inside yourself to be very sure when it's the right time to pursue those things or to make certain decisions to end or start something new. So it's kind of like, yeah, you get guided by your emotions, and you always know when you're shifting paths because you start to get all of these new energies come up inside of you, and it guides you to your higher timelines. And it's pretty cool because these emotions are basically the thing that is aligning you energetically with new versions of reality. And yeah, what else do we have to say about this? You're someone who is going to have big, successful accomplishments and endeavors because of this ability to follow your emotions, or to feel your emotions, or to listen to your emotions and honor your desires or what you're feeling. Like I say, even if we sit on our emotions for a while, we can have timelines closing out for a long time, actually. And then as those timelines start to close out, that's when we're making those kind of emotional realizations. But like I say, they can close out and be doing that for quite a few months or quite a few weeks. But you always enter this cycle of energy of entering a new timeline and then, you know, experiencing what's needed to be experienced in that timeline. And then you start to receive these emotional callings that start shifting and arranging energy inside of you that place you into the alignment of shifting into new realities. So either things becoming dissonant or things becoming inspired for you, pulling you into new areas. But yeah, so this is your confirmation to trust those divinely guided chances. When you do take these chances, there is an element of unknown from the ego, but there is a strong intuition about these things as well. It's not just like, oh, this thing's coming up in our reality and we're just going to do it, or we're just going to whatever. It's something synchronistic. It will be, oh, this opportunity or this idea's come up, and I don't know, I kind of feel like that's what's next on my path, or it's kind of synchronistic, or I've been seeing signs about this for a while. Because before you shift into this next reality, you do receive Easter eggs, signs, synchronicities, and messages from your higher self who is already in that reality. And that's what kind of pulls you to shift there. Remember, we exist in every multiverse, in every dimensional plane, and you are communicating with yourself, like in the double slit experiment with the light photon. You're communicating with yourself between all possible timelines. So the realities that you're shifting into that you haven't moved into yet, you're actually pulling and calling and guiding yourself to them through non-linear time. And so, yeah, you're someone who, you're going to take more divinely guided chance and risk this life, and it's really going to pay off. It's really not something that's necessarily even in your control. It's just the way that your path is guiding you, almost like your vessel is a boat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's almost as if your vessel is a boat, and you just, you know, you're the experiencer of your thoughts and emotions, right? So it's kind of interesting because as we move through our life and we move through timelines energetically, we're the experiencer who have kind of having that observation of that on an inner level. We see our outside reality shift and change, but what mirrors that all the time is our internal emotions and thoughts. They also mirror what's happening on our outside reality. And so it's interesting because you're the experiencer or the observer of your emotions and thoughts. And your emotions and thoughts, when you observe them, you can tell when you're going to timeline shift soon. You can tell when things are newly blooming or decaying. You can almost feel how long there is left in certain timelines for some of you, whether that's connections, relationships, placements, places that you live, or workplaces. You guys can almost sense, like, you have a feeling sometimes, oh, you know, I feel like I'm going to be here for a long time, or, oh, you know, I feel like this is good for now, but things I can't put my finger on, I kind of feel that in the energy of this timeline, which probably means that those things are going to be more temporary. So you're going to take more divinely guided chances this life, not really particularly out of choice, but just because your emotions are guiding you along a higher path of, you know, where you're weaving to through the timelines. And like I say, you can't choose what you're interested in, or what's not aligning with you, or what's not resonating with you. And that's what really guides you along this fated, destined path of yours. And you guys, your emotions are leading you to realities that are very magical, very successful, very abundant, and that are very manifested or co-created by your higher self. Okay, so this is your confirmation. If you're presenting with an opportunity recently, maybe that's from your higher self. Your higher self is guiding you opportunities, things, situations for you to maybe enter in new energies that you've been picking up or desiring for a long time. And yeah, so that's what's coming through. You're making room for more meaningful opportunities, it says. So maybe there's certain things that have lost their meaning for you that you're shifting out of. Yeah, things that feel like they've lost their meaning a bit, or like, yeah, like I say, you don't feel them as deeply as you used to. Like I say, maybe that's endeavors, maybe that's projects, maybe that's people, but you're shifting into things that have a deeper sense of meaning for you. Whatever this is, this chance, this risk, it's always because you're moving towards things with a deeper soul meaning for you, or soul fulfillment. Yeah, whenever you shift timelines, it's because you're aligning with things with a deeper soul fulfillment and meaning to them, or purpose to them, that resonates with your heart specifically and personally. So yeah, you guys, you're being guided by your higher self. You're going to take more risks and chance this lifetime. It's going to lead you to some magical realities and places. And you are really destined for this magic, okay? You have the angels guiding you. Your path is very fated, and you're connected to your sense of fate because you're connected to your emotions. And our emotions are no coincidence. So yes, beautiful souls. I love you so much. This has been your confirmation and reading, and I will see and speak to you all in the next one, beautiful souls. Mwah.